Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, wake up, I gotta.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, College Couch Podcast. Listen, before we start, I'm fine. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am fine.
How about them dogs?
How about them dogs? It happens. It happens.
Hey, is this that?
It
Hey,
happens. It happens.
hey, man.
Just listen. Unhinged Javaris. He made his annual appearance. Maybe he makes another one later on down the line. We don't know. But he is like 0-2 right now. So that's why we keep him far away from this show. This is a safe space, and when you have that energy come in, it kind of provides a different. It's a shift in the balance of things. So this is why he only makes an appearance every once in a while. But it happens. But we'll get into that later on, ladies and gentlemen. Javaris here, Stackz and Javaris, forever in the building. My brother, what's going on? How are you?
Man, life is good. Life is good.
Good, good, man. Hey, like I told you before we got on, man, every day above ground is a beautiful day. So, but yeah, man, listen, another great week of college football is in the books. There was something that happened, like maybe it's almost 2 weeks now, and I know we hadn't gotten a chance to get to it, but man, Mike Gundy out at Oklahoma State, the head coach. First off, things just started sliding downhill at Oklahoma State, and it's so funny because they were like on a tear like a few years ago with like Ollie Gordon, and it was a cast that they had in Oklahoma State. But yeah, man, Mike Gundy had a historic career at Oklahoma State. So
Yeah, you got recruit classes come in. They do
mhm.
good, but you don't do good with them. Say you
Right.
don't go as far as you want to. So once that draft class, that rookie, not rookie class, that recruiting
Yeah,
class leaves, it's hard to replenish that. Like the
yeah,
teams that do it are usually teams that are consistently in there or the bigger programs. So
yeah.
that's it's tough. It's tough because we've
Right.
seen this before where coaches have success with recruiting and they win games and they can't get over the hump, or they do get over the hump but then can't stay over the hump.
Yeah,
Then they get fired, like LSU's old head coach, winning the championship and then going down, you know. So yeah, when it's time, it's time.
yeah.
It's a business. Jokers is ready to win. I believe you me, I understand. I understand. I'm ready to win too, god dog it.
Right.
But I get it. You know what I'm saying? You try to stay the course, but
Hmm.
if you can't get it done, you can't get it done.
Yeah,
You know, nobody want to be the doormat no more. Everybody sees where they could be. Because
yeah.
new playoffs, everybody got a chance. So,
Mhm.
you know,
It's it. I mean, the rarity of having a coach stick around as long as Joe Paterno did at Penn State, man. That's a rarity. It's a blessing, but it's a rarity. And so, like,
yeah, it's not happening anymore. So I'm just being honest. Unless you just consistently, or like you're like Nick
yeah,
Saban or Kirby Smart, or saying like that's not happening. Like Ryan Day wins 10, 11 games every year and
yeah.
still was on the hot seat. So that's not happening, bro. And that's not happening. If you don't show results consistently, that's not happening.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
done. That's this no. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I ain't mean to cut you off, but that's not happening,
No,
no
it
more.
was
Like,
just the straight up like, hey, let me just tell you how it is. Like this is how I feel it, and this is what I need to say. It's not
yeah,
happening
because
anymore.
I felt like it was going in a way, like
It's
what
the
I'm saying,
brutal
like
honesty. I
it's
mean,
rare, but it can still happen. And
it's not happening. But yeah,
nah,
man,
you
Joe Paterno was at Penn State for quite a minute, and I mean, speaking of Penn State, it's definitely a game that we're going to recap. Their
yeah.
their um their literal like blow for blow game with Oregon this past weekend. But another coach that I really wanted to hit on before we hopped into these recaps was Sam Pittman as well, is out at Arkansas. And over the weekend, man, I was really just really pondering. especially after watching the Georgia or Alabama game. I was just like, man, what it would be a treat. It would be to see Sam Pittman. Of course, I'm daydreaming, but just back in a offensive coordinator role or assistant coach role somewhere. Maybe a little small town of Athens, Georgia. Just
Well, I mean,
just dreaming.
it's
But
now it sounds good, but I
realistically,
mean,
he can go anywhere. I will.
yeah, I
Be,
mean,
yeah.
but
Let me
but I
be frank. He can
mean,
go anywhere.
even if he goes anywhere, wherever he
Yeah.
goes, I mean, he's a good guy, so I'm
Yeah.
sure
Absolutely.
somebody will pick him up. But
Mhm.
his offense still didn't put up the numbers that you
Yeah.
would expect his offense to put up. So I don't know.
Right.
But we've seen it with Gus Malzahn. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? With leaving UCF and
Yeah.
becoming back to being the offensive coordinator. Like, I'm gonna be real. Being a head coach is not for everybody. Like, I
No.
mean, I know that's the ultimate goal when
Yeah.
you're coaching, but sometimes just being that assistant coach and you can focus on what you're good at and keeping the main thing, then you have better success because a head coach, you're responsible for everything, recruiting and following up and doing this and doing that and doing that, and then when everything falls, first thing they blame is the coach, second is the quarterback. I mean, that's you know,
Yeah.
I
And
mean, so
it's so funny. Well, I wouldn't say funny, but it was really like refreshing to see because I know you could tell Arkansas was ready to move on from him. But the amount of respect that the fans have for Sam Pittman around the time that he was there, because you gotta think this Arkansas team was just in the top 10 maybe 3 or 4 years ago when they still had KJ Jefferson. So
right,
like they were
right.
they were on a tear for a good while, and then of course they went and played Georgia and got blown out. But
You
man,
just
they
had to
were.
throw that in there, didn't you?
I mean, cause yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean, you just had to
But
throw that
no,
in there.
but no, but again, that was a game that College Game Day had came to. Because I was still in college when that game happened, so I was really looking forward to seeing if Arkansas was really going to go at it with Georgia, and unfortunately it didn't pan out that way. But I mean, man, like just all in all, what a historic career for Sam Pittman
Well, I
at
mean, he brought
Arkansas.
Arkansas back to being relevant again, and
Yeah,
that's
in a
and that's
way.
and that's as a fan. I mean, as a fan and as a coach, that can save your job.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
save your job and then get recruits wanting to play for you again. I mean,
Hmm.
play for that school again. Because a lot of
Right.
times, a coach put the school in a bad way, and it's not that people don't want to play for the school. They just the stigma behind that school because of the coach was so bad. Like
Right. Right.
like I mean, let's be real. Like people used to want to go to Bama because of Saban. You know what I'm saying? Before that, it was like they were regular, but then all of a sudden now Saban's there. It's like, oh, I actually like Bama. You wasn't that before Saban got there. You was, what I'm saying, Oregon State fan before, but now you're a Bama fan. So it's like that winning and not necessarily the championships. Of course, championships help, but just winning and being consistently competitive. Not getting blown out every week. And you're actually making bowl games and you know, actually getting ranked, being ranked high, even if you fall some, people can see the potential there. They can see so a lot of times some guys come and like, okay, I'm the piece that they're missing to get over that hump. If your reputation is being a bad team, like prime example, Vanderbilt. For the longest, Vanderbilt was one of those teams like you just knew, all right, I'm gonna go here and get my education because I'm smart. But then football wise, it's like Joker just watched it by accident. Like we knew if they was playing anytime big time school,
Yeah.
we kind of knew they was finna get beat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But now they're winning. People are like, all right, I might want to go to Vanderbilt. I might want, So I mean, no. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, he had a lot of success, and I wish the best for him because he's a
Yeah.
good guy. So
Absolutely. Again, I have never seen such an outpouring of support and well wishes for a coach. Like I mean, Sam Pittman is just an all around good guy, and I mean that's one person you just really want to root for. And I was rooting
Right.
for him when he took the job at Arkansas. So I really wish the best for him. I hope he lands somewhere very soon. I would love to see him back in some type of role in some capacity. Just doing what he loves, and that's coaching. I mean,
Right.
whether it be offensive line or whether he's a coordinator somewhere. I mean, he needs. I think he needs to really go somewhere and really turn the program around. Like I know he can. So, but yeah, man, that was it for our top stories for week 5. Partially a week 5. Let's hop into these good old game recaps. Let's start off with Virginia and Florida State real quick, man. First off, okay, I'll say this: who in on God's green earth in the year of 2025 thought to see an upset where Virginia beats Florida State at home? It's certainly not odd.
Yeah, I mean
Because
Virginia
what?
Virginia can score that thing now. They
Oh
can't play
yeah,
defense, but they can score.
yeah.
They they can score. They can't
I
play defense. I mean they did have a big stop at the end. I give it to
mhm,
you, but they can't play defense worth nothing.
yeah,
But they can score, and that's what
yeah.
goes back to any given Saturday.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean it this season and just like prior seasons. I mean the theme has been any given Saturday. So when you see a a Virginia who is like the Vanderbilt of the ACC knock off a now once high ranked Florida State team, it kind of just gives you like the scratching head effect because it's like, huh, like how in the world did that just happen? You know what I'm
You
saying?
know
Like,
what's funny though?
what's up?
Starting this season, had you asked me would Virginia beat Florida State, I probably would have been like, probably.
Really?
Starting the season, yeah, I thought they were
Okay.
going to be terrible. Like, I mean, because last year they were terrible.
Yeah.
And the year before that, I mean, they were good, I guess.
I
But,
guess.
but I mean, like it was that thing. Like Miami went through it too. Like and Florida State, they both went through it. Like they would be good or be decent, and then they'll drop off, and then they'll come back and be all right, and they'll drop off or whatever. So, you know, kind of didn't know what we was getting with Florida State this year.
Mhm.
Like I thought I personally would have been like, yeah, probably. I wouldn't have been surprised that Virginia beat them, but after seeing Florida State play, tune changed a little bit. So
Mhm.
now I'm like, dang, they really beat Florida State.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
had you asked me this about 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, I'd probably been like, yeah, that's possible,
Well,
probably.
I mean, just from the look of their schedule, I want to say I remember when they played against North Carolina State, and they only lost by 4 to them. That's their only loss this season is to North Carolina State. But man, they really, I mean, they've been
Like I
putting the
said,
pedal
they
to the
can
metal.
score. They can
Yeah,
score. They
yeah,
just can't stop nobody
I see, I see.
consistently. We'll say that
Yeah,
because they did have
yeah.
a big interception.
hmm
So
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're putting down now, man. 45.6 points per game, which is eighth in the country right now. 12th in rushing yards a game,
that's
seventh in
insane that
touchdowns,
that is eighth place. That is crazy.
eighth place, and 22nd in passing yards. So yeah, man, this defense is actually putting it down. Like they are like really like showing up and showing out. Like that's an efficient offense. Like that's what you want to see as a college football fan, how that
Right.
offense is ran. So yeah, man, shout out to Virginia. Let's see if they can do it again this weekend against Louisville. On the Florida State side of the ball, y'all got some work to do. Y'all got good old Miami coming into town this weekend. So
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun one. That's
oh
gonna be
yeah,
a fun
I
one.
I think so. I really do think so.
I don't think they win, but it's gonna be
But
fun.
yeah, but if you look at it, two completely different looks for teams. I mean, two completely different quarterbacks since the last time they played. So, um, I think this is like you said, not only going to be a fun one, but it's definitely going to be yeah. I think we're going to have some fireworks. I really think we'll have fireworks this game. So we'll get it. We'll get more into that Florida State Miami game with our previews. But let's hop over to this good old Penn State Oregon game, man. I got a chance to rewatch this game today, and just watching some of the highlights. And man, what a physical game! What a physical game in Happy Valley Beaver Stadium, man. I mean, if you want to really put a stamp on a game, or just even have some type of, what's the word I want to use? Some type of example, I guess the best way to put it, example of what a physical football game looks like in college football. Go back and watch this Penn State Oregon game, man, because that was a physical game, and they were that was a heavyweight bout for the Big Ten, and that was a good showing for that conference this past Saturday as well between those two teams. So I don't even I really I can't say much more about it, because it was just physicality. And
Right.
granted, I think granted the only thing right now is, where do we stand with James Franklin? Because again, now of course with them losing this game, of course to fire him, Chancellor back, which I understand. Penn State fans
I
are
don't.
fed up.
I
I
don't.
get
I
it.
mean,
I get it.
you
I
lost to.
get
I
it.
mean, you lose to a side. Like, had you lost to somebody like you wasn't supposed to lose to, like had they played Virginia and lost to Virginia or something, then
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you got at it. But I mean, you lost early
Mm.
and you lost to a pretty good, or well, actually a really good Oregon team. You know, so I mean, we're in a very well coached Oregon team. So I mean, and you already know my stigma against James Franklin. So I mean, I don't think you sound the alarm yet. Because I mean, as far as you went last year, you know what I'm saying. You got a lot of guys back.
Yeah.
You still have playoff. Now again, now if he gets to the end and doesn't make playoffs by some chance, or gets to the playoffs and loses the first game, something like that, then I can say,
Mhm.
okay, it's time to go further. But
Yeah.
if he makes playoffs, he wins a couple games in the playoffs or whatever, I think you still stick with him because you're consistently making playoffs. I mean, the days of one loss getting you fired and stuff like that, that's over. Like, because you can have two losses and still make the championship. Have three losses and still potentially make the championship. So, in the way everything going now, I don't think you fire him because you lost to a quality opponent. You didn't get blown out. You didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still lost to a quality opponent and put up a fight. Like, y'all was like, it's not like y'all had a big dip off, but the days of being undefeated, it's only going to be maybe one team that's undefeated at the end. And I don't even think they stay undefeated because I think they lose in the playoffs if they stay undefeated. Because I mean, how competitive is because everybody feels like they have a shot, like as opposed to previous years, because it's like, you know, we can make playoffs. But
Yeah.
I don't think you fire him. Had he not did what he did last year, then yeah, yeah,
I think with this one, I mean, first off, for Dan Lanning to have both offense and defense rolling the way he has it, especially being a defensive minded coach, it's pretty insane. And I mean, he showed how insane he was this past Saturday, because if you saw that man on that sidelines, the way he was gritting, like grinding his teeth together, like that man, he almost suited up and went out there and fought a college kid himself. If he wasn't careful, he was finna suit up and go out there himself. So it's impressive to see the turnaround Oregon has had, but also it shows how well this Oregon team might actually be able to sneak in a national championship appearance. Because you know how we said last week that Ohio State looks like the most dominant team right now? don't let this Oregon team fool you because they could very well be playing Ohio State in the national championship game come January.
Oh, for sure. I agree. I agree. I just up until that point,
Yeah.
and even Ohio State took a dip for me because they didn't
Hmm.
play that great
Yeah.
this past weekend. So, I mean, it's kind of like I said, up until that point, they had been the only one to me that had shown that dominance that
Hmm.
they were, you know what I'm saying? Like they were the team to beat. That's what it felt like. But now they've been knocked down some, so it's like, okay, now you're kind of even with
Yeah.
all the rest of the top five, the top 10 teams, because
Yeah.
it's like how like when Bama was being dominant, like you kind of could tell like it was everybody was just having to beat them because they were so dominant and they
Mhm.
were so every week they was coming out blowing out teams and being great and not moving an inch. But when you come down, it's like, oh, yeah, just a regular team. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, oh, y'all ain't the only one that competing for a championship. You know what I'm saying? So up until prior to this game, it was like they were that. But this game kind of showed like, oh, they weren't that. They just caught some teams where they were still trying to figure it out. Because again, it was still early, still kind of
Yeah.
early. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now is not the time after this week to be losing games, but it's
Mhm.
still early enough to where it may not count that bad against you later
Yeah.
on because other teams lose and things like that. But
Right.
yeah, so
And and,
yeah,
and I
man.
and I think too. Let me also say this because I love to give credit where it's due, but I also want to say this. This Oregon team kind of was trying to find its
Right. Find his
um
identity. Yeah.
yeah, and it was really trying to gel, especially coming with a new offense. You got
Right.
a phenom freshman receiver with Decorian Moore. You got a new quarterback with Dante Moore, and you got a lineup of running backs who can tote that thing. So um, it took them a while to really mesh this season.
Right.
So now that they're finding their groove, they just played in a really tough road environment, like with Penn State. I think they are now starting to come along and really find that like you said, identity. Now they're about to really put their foot on the gas in the latter part of the season, which
Right.
again is still a lot of season left, but this is not a time where you want to start um
You don't want to go
losing that
downhill
footing.
now. Here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to
True.
lose that footing at this point in the season. So again, a lot of season left, but definitely do not want to start losing your
Right.
pivot. Like you need to know what the objective is come
Right.
December and
Right.
January
You
as
already
far as
know
making the
how
playoffs.
your offense likes to run. Because I always say, the first 5 weeks of college football, NFL doesn't matter. You're trying to figure out because I mean, think about it. Like you're playing pretty much against your team, so essentially you're playing against air before the season starts. Like you know what I mean? Like you know what you got. You know this person's fast. Y'all building chemistry, but it's nothing like actually playing a opponent who prepared for you. You prepared for them, but you still don't know everything that they're gonna throw at you and everything that's gonna happen. So, the first 5 weeks kind of get the wrinkles out. Like, I mean, week one, nobody usually looks good. It's the only team, in my opinion, that looked like they were already gelling was Ohio State.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But with that, if you're already gelling that early, it's kind of like you're staying here and everybody else is still going up. So if you're just staying here, then it could be a good thing, but it also could be a bad. Because if everybody else is gelling more and more and more and more, and you just staying the same, it's just kind of like, okay, you're not growing, you're not fixing mistakes, you're not doing anything. You kind of just at that even kill playing field, hoping that you can, you know, out talent or out muscle somebody. But once the team starts gelling, I don't care how much talent you got. I know where you want to go on the ball. I trust you in this situation. I know how my offense wants to run. I know that these 20 plays right here, this is what they execute the best. I know my linemen, they like to pull, they like to get out and run. That's what they are better at. Because at the beginning of the season, you could think, I got a cannon for, my quarterback got a cannon for an arm, so this is where we're going to be at. Nah, You know what I'm saying? And you finally feel like, oh, this is that. So yeah, the first 5 weeks, that's the gelling period. But after about week 5, week 6, everything the shirt need to be starched.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like that.
all
I like
wrinkles
that.
gone. Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? All kinks is out.
Mhm.
Like you fully stretched, ready to go. Everybody gelling like the doctor shows. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's got to be that. So yeah. So I mean, I think well, Oregon, I think they were just trying to find their groove, which a lot of teams were. I still think Georgia's trying to figure out how they're gonna be. I think Bama's starting to figure out how they're gonna be and their identity and things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean most of it starts about 90 to me about 97, 98% of it starts with the quarterback.
Mhm.
You know, just knowing trusting your guys, your line, your receivers, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So for sure. I mean I think Oregon is starting to figure out who they are. I just hope they continue to get better because it still baffles me that Oregon has been as great and big of a program as they have been and have never won a championship. That still forever baffles me.
Insane, insane, insane,
They've
man.
had Heisman winners, they've had runner ups and all kind of stuff, and played in championships, competed for them, been in playoffs, and still no championship. I think that's
Listen,
kind of crazy. Like
there's
even dating back to when Cam was at Auburn, like
yeah,
Michael James, and
bro.
you know what I'm saying,
Get out of my head, get
like
out of my
bro,
head. I
like I
was just
mean,
talking
like the
about
the list goes on. Marcus
yeah,
Mariota playing against Jameis Winston, still didn't win a championship. Like I mean, like it's just baffles me. Like Oregon
yeah,
is to me, say what you want. Oregon to me is just as big as Ohio State or Georgia or anybody like that. They just have not won that championship yet.
Mhm.
And I honestly think if they win a championship, boy, you better watch out because they got the money, they got the resources, they got the jerseys, they got everything. You literally
Yeah,
got the Nike CEO at your fingertip, everything you want. New uniforms quicker than everybody else. Like you get first pick of the litter. Like I mean, I'm just saying. And you got a great head coach. So I mean,
yes, yes.
if
Dan
Oregon
Lanning,
wins the championship, bro,
yeah, it will be
oh
trouble in the water for sure. But yeah,
boy,
I could not agree more, man. Dan Lanning leaving Georgia when he did and going to Oregon was the best possible situation for college football.
but
Like
right.
that I could have not been more happy for a person, just like how it was for Sam Pittman. But Dan Lanning is the perfect fit for Oregon. I mean, that is the person. Again, if you missed this game on this past Saturday and did not hear or see what this man was saying before he went out there on that field to play Penn State, go back and look at it because I guarantee you he not only set the tone for his team, but just the precedence. I mean, just the presence that he put in the hearts of all the Penn State fans in that stadium on Saturday was something to see because he let them know straight up, we're not here to like f around. Like we're here to win this game and hit the road and go back to Eugene, Oregon. So that's the type of coach that you want
Right,
being the face of your
right,
program. That's the type of coach you want leading your program. And yeah,
right.
man, Dan Lanning is the guy. Dan Lanning is that guy. I love Dan Lanning, man. He was a huge component for the two back to back championships Georgia got. But yeah, man, I'm so happy for him at Oregon. I really am. So all right, let's talk about this last game, man. Do I got to give a statement? Yeah, I think
I
so.
mean, you can. I mean, but I got a lot I want to say about this game.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'll go first then. So,
Yeah,
of course, Georgia, Alabama, y'all. Not only second year in a row, we've lost. But also it goes along the line of the historic robbery where, of course, Alabama is leading with literally a lot more to a lot little. I
Yeah,
mean, put it put
yeah,
it just put it how it is. Um, from a fan standpoint, I was hurt. I was 100% hurt because we allowed this to happen. Not only we allowed it to happen again, but we allowed it to happen for a second year in a row. Um, there are a lot of uh, finger pointing and people to blame. 1,000%. Again, this is coming from a fan standpoint, but I just think we shut down when we hear Alabama Crimson Tide in any type of capacity. Like, we shut down. We forget how to play football. We forget how to game manage. We forget how to compete. And that's what happened. Like, we forgot how to compete when the team from Tuscaloosa comes into any type of capacity. Um, when we play them, and it's frustrating because you know how talented your team is when you play them, right? Like, it's frustrating because, again, like I said, you know how talented your team is. You know you have the players. You know your coaches need to align in order to beat this team, and we could have, but it didn't happen for a second year in a row in a close game at that. And so it really had me sitting there after the game because I literally thought about countless things that we could have did differently. There were passes that were dropped that could have really been game changers. Of course, the taking the field goal on 4th and 1, um, a bonehead decision from a 5-star recruit who you would think that wouldn't even do some of the things that he did. I mean, like, bro, I genuinely, even now, like, thinking about it, I'm just like, what type of decision or what type of um like what is going through your mind to say, yeah, let me dive on an already piled up like group of people. Let me just go in and just dive head first.
yeah. And you
But
you was not gonna do any damage, brother. Like
nothing.
you're
You
not
literally,
stopping anything. Like
this man
he
thought he
literally
was
jumped from the sideline and Superman flew.
bro.
Like, bro,
He took off from 5 yards
yeah,
out
what
to
they said,
dive into the
nothing beats a
pile,
jet
bro.
to Holiday.
Like, dude, this man thought he was at Chuck E. Cheese, and even at the
Man,
end, like,
man,
I
yeah,
just
this a dumb decision, but
very dumb.
uh, to say I wouldn't say that y'all forgot how to compete, because even last year y'all competed, because y'all could have laid down last year and y'all fought back to make it a game.
Yeah,
And this year, I think y'all competed. What I think that Georgia, I'm gonna speak on the defensive side of the ball. What I think Georgia lacks on the defensive side of the ball. Well, before I say what they lack, what I think is happening, I think they're getting entitled because they think they're Georgia and they're entitled to a win. It's not how it works, especially with everybody uh having access to NIL money and being able to get these 5-star players or these top players in the transfer portal, whatever. So, and then everybody feeling like they have a shot to make the championship, and then everybody wanting to say, "Yo, we beat Georgia," you know. So, regardless of record, your bragging rights are for the year. But what I think this Georgia defense is lacking is a leader. I've yet to see anybody step up and just, you know, pin their ears back, get on to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I have yet to see that. And I've seen a lot of rookie mistakes from great players. I've seen a lot of blown coverages. Prime example, the guy that dove on top of the pile. Stupid decision. And he was getting burnt. all game, all game, and and he was one of the ones that was getting burnt against Tennessee. So therefore, you have to understand that everybody is able to compete with you now. Like nobody's safe anymore. Like it used to be, you pretty much was good until you played somebody that was worth something. Used to be you was good until you played in the championship, and then it was you was good until you played into your conference and championship, and then in the playoffs. Now everybody can get anybody can get it. Anybody. So Georgia defensively, they have to figure out their identity again. Because the thing that was established the two championship years was an identity. And they had a leader. Whether he was on the field or on the sideline, you had a leader that got on everybody, that got in everybody, made sure everybody was in position, and if you wasn't, it was on your ass. Mm-hmm. So Georgia's defense does not have that right now. Although the defense is good, but they're not great in my opinion. So that's my point on the defense. On the offensive side of the ball, drop passes, still the same conversation we was having last year, just a lot less, obviously, because you led last year, you don't lead this year. But it was a good amount of drop passes, and Georgia did not capitalize on a lot of the opportunities they were given. What I always say, regardless if it's Georgia, Bama, and to take out a giant, you got to play your game, and you've got to capitalize on their mistakes. Take what they give you. And like I've been saying all year, I don't think Gunner Stockton is ready yet. Because, he will be. Come season's end, I think he'll be there because he would have had the experience. He doesn't have the experience of game management because he hasn't played a college game to where he's had to be the guy from start to finish. Usually he would come in the game when y'all are already up. Mm-hmm. He's the most seasoned one in the locker room as far as quarterbacks go. But he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand that yet. And pocket presence. I've been preaching it all year. He has got to understand where he is in the pocket and has to understand he's got to be able to trust his people downfield. Don't run as soon as you see the first sign of trouble or before the play even develops. Your receivers got to make their break before you can take off and run. Like, you think you can win with your legs, but you forget the linebackers and the linemen and all that. They all running 4.5s and 4.3s and 4.6s and all that now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for him, he's got to figure out that pocket presence. They need to really sit down with him and work on that. Like, before you take off, see what's downfield. You don't, taking off is your last resort. Nobody's open. Pocket collapsing. Find your hole, take off. Not, hey, oh, let me go. No. No. Running backs played great. You know, uh, I would not have put what's the running back's name? Cash Jones in there on that. It was 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, something like that. I would not have put him in there on that because he's a smaller back. Although he can manage that in a situation like that, you've got a big time running back that's solid, that's big, that's been toting that thing like it was nobody business. You get that to him and you live with it if he doesn't get it. Because that joke about 250 and he still was moving. Like he was putting about 2-3 people with him. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? First man, most of the time, unless it was a group type of thing, they wasn't getting them. Not in the hole. You know what I'm saying? So that was poor decision making on that. I didn't understand that. But yeah, so many opportunities to capitalize on the Georgia side of the ball, but they just I I just didn't see that grit that I normally see from a Georgia team. Even the teams that's lost to Florida, not Florida, but Bama in the past, it was a pride thing. Like you just you left it all on the field. You didn't leave nothing to chance. Like I didn't see that from this team. And on the flip side, I saw a completely different Alabama team. Although Ryan Williams dropped a big time pass that would have set the tone for the entire game. Uh, Other players stepped up. Jeremy Bernard, like which we both been high on him all year. He was getting it rushing, catching. He threw a pass to get a first down. Like I mean, the offensive coordinator, which I know is DeBoer's buddy, who's been with him a lot of his journey. He was cooking. He was cooking. He had Georgia's defense on his heels.
Yeah.
He made it easy. He made it easy for the quarterback, for Alabama's quarterback to, what I'm saying, find his reads, and he did a good job of, if it wasn't there, taking off and getting what he can or throwing it away. I mean, he played a fundamentally sound game. Capitalized on every opportunity Georgia gave him. Second half he didn't have as much passing yard success, but he didn't get too far ahead of himself. He stayed within the moment, and
Yeah.
it was comfortable. It was calm. So yeah, that's my biggest thing.
I wanna go back to something you said just literally just a second ago about the grit. And it's funny you say that because Georgia's slogan, the team slogan this year has been fire, passion, and energy. And you didn't see any of that this past Saturday against Alabama. And I mean, it really again, it's really upsetting. Like it just really it's upsetting as a Georgia fan because you're letting a second year head coach who literally got the keys to a Cadillac with this Alabama team run you down, you know what I'm saying? Run you down for a second year in a row. And again, I don't want to take anything from Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer is a great head coach. Literally before he came to Alabama, just had a national championship appearance with Washington and Michael Penix Jr. And so, like this, he is a phenomenal coach. Like nothing to take away from him. But for someone like Kirby, man, you can't allow game mismanagement, poor execution, just lackadaisical play affect you not only with your home winning streak on the line, but just like you said, the pride, man, the pride is on the line. You cannot continue to let this fan base down because they invest so much into this team, man. They invest so much, and people in the South, football is a religion. People will get clowned because of this stuff. Like people have to go back to work on Monday and hear from their coworkers, "Oh, y'all lost again." You know what I'm saying? So it's more than just wearing the jersey because I really think these guys don't understand. Like you can get ran out of Athens, Georgia. You can get ran out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You can get ran out of Auburn, Alabama. You can get ran out of Starkville, Mississippi, if you don't play the brand of football that you wear. It
Right.
happens. It happens all
Right.
the time. Just like it happens in the pros, it very well happens in college. And I really want these guys to understand that concept because this NIL era, it really has affected them to where they're like, I could care less about the W's and L's. When is my next check coming in? And that's not the mindset we really need to have because not only are you worried about the next check, I really need you to worry about how are we going to get to this national championship game, right? Like that is where your money is going to come. If you aren't, accumulating W's and L's and all that stuff, you're not accumulating the W's. Let me not even say L's. If you're not accumulating the W's, you don't need to be worried about no NIL check. Because that's the thing that we need right now is W's. And again, like I said earlier, we're getting to the latter part of the season where we start losing more games. We can kiss that playoff appearance bye bye and wait till next season. You know what I'm saying? So I really want guys to, and I said this last season on the pod, bro. It's an accountability thing with this team, and the fact that this issue is still lingering. is man, I'm hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt. I was hurt. I'm still a little hurt, but at the same time, I know that there are issues to fix. I mean, for one, defensive coordinator, me personally, I feel like he has completely lost that defensive room because you don't
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially the DBs.
you
We
cannot
like. Go ahead, go ahead.
for Ellis Robinson to be a 5-star and pull what he just did on this past Saturday, a bonehead decision that cost the team. That was a selfish decision because you put your team in jeopardy doing
I
stuff like that.
I don't put that one on the coaches. I put that one. That
I
was just
don't
a
agree,
dumb
but at the same
decision.
time, I will say this. I will put it on him if the decision. I'm sorry, if the mistake that he made wasn't handled behind closed doors. Now, granted, again, behind closed doors, you handle that in practice, address it.
My brother,
You
did you
know,
not see him chew that joke out
oh, I
after?
missed it. I missed it. I didn't see that. I didn't. So
Man,
forgive me.
he,
Forgive me.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Forgive me
They,
if I
they,
didn't.
they got
Yeah.
on, buddy.
Okay. Cool.
They got
But
on, buddy. And
and
they
he
sat him out. He wasn't in the part of
perfect.
that next
Cool.
nothing. So
But let that now be a learning lesson, but also make it a well known point to the rest of the defense or in offense. If these mistakes continue to happen, we're going to start holding you accountable, and that's the thing. I've been saying that accountability needs to be a thing ever since these guys and I know y'all gonna hate me bringing it up. When these guys started getting these reckless driving citations and tickets and getting arrested and face plastered all over Athens, Georgia, and in the country, these guys need to be sitting out games. Like they needed to be sitting out a game,
uh
2 quarters, whatever. I'm gonna be honest
I ain't gonna
because that's
lie. I mean, that would have been a lot of jokers. That would have
so so be it. Make it
so
make it a point.
I mean I
Because
feel you. I feel you.
if you're going to make that decision, then you're making the decision to not suit up come Saturday. That's just how I feel.
I feel you.
If you're making a decision, that's how you set the tone. That's how you set the precedents. That's how you let guys who are coming in know, like, hey, this is a program that's not going to allow BS like that to happen because we are setting a standard here for when teams come into Athens, Georgia, they need to fear us, and that's the thing. Teams don't even fear playing us anymore. They
You
really
know,
don't.
you know, I don't think anybody fears anybody anymore. Like, it used
Okay.
to be, like, cause think about it. Think about it. Look how many teams have competed with not only Georgia, like we just saw last week with Ohio State. I mean, they won, but it was not easy for them. You know what I'm saying? And even like, USF beating Florida, they weren't scared. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jokers is not scared of your name no more. They're not scared of your name, your rank, your record, none of that. Why? Because they feel like they can beat you. And it goes back to what I've said years ago. Like, instead of going to these teams like Georgia, Ohio State, which, I mean, you can go, I'm not knocking that. But why don't you go to a team that can beat them and be the piece that they need to get over? And that's what's happened. Look at Pavia and Vanderbilt. That was literally the piece they needed. And now Vandy, I have not seen Vandy ranked this high ever. 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 Like, you know what I'm saying? And they are consistently, in their pictures. They ain't nobody scared no more.
Yeah,
Nobody. Florida
I agree.
State would have, beaten Bama. They weren't scared. Joker literally said, you know what I'm saying, before the season even started, like, yo, we ain't scared of them. We coming out of here with a dub. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then came out there and did it. Nobody's
Yeah,
scared no more.
I agree.
Nobody's scared of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's scared to play at Georgia. They're not afraid to play against Georgia. None of that. Notre Dame, nowhere. None of these
Yeah,
big time programs, folks are not scared anymore
yeah.
because they feel like they're good too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just
I
saying that
agree.
to say, I'm just saying that to say it's not just Georgia that people are not afraid to play against. It's everybody is not afraid at all because everybody feels like they have a shot to win the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this playoffs, like we was trying to figure out last year when it was implemented, would it be exciting or would it be talking about it? Because just the year previous, we were talking about Florida State and all these teams that didn't get into it or whatever. So he's like, oh man, we're gonna miss this.
Yeah.
But look at how many teams are competing just to get into the playoffs because they feel like they can. And look how much better football we've been getting. We've got like, bro, I don't know if this is a record. I don't know if it's been more, but look how many upsets and almost upsets that we've had, and it's only week 5, week 6. Like we had an upset first week, second week, third week, everywhere. Like you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody feels like they can do it.
Yeah, agreed.
Everybody,
And
like the
that's
top 25 looks crazy right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Listen, teams are jumping in that have never jumped in before. If y'all know about
Right.
it, but no, like I really love that is happening. But at the same time, I'm going to now jump into the analyst side of things. You know, I gave my fan perspective as an analyst and as a podcaster, as somebody that provides my analysis and my perspective on things. I truly think that Georgia moving forward, there are some pieces that are going to have to be moved, and I've been saying that. I've said that as a fan, but I'm also saying it now as someone who's analyzing the game, who's seeing things from a different perspective. But I
Which
know
pieces do you think?
you gotta move that offense and defense, man. You gotta move them. They gotta go. And I'm saying that because for one, I've been saying it. The offense is too vanilla. It's too bland.
I mean,
With
I will honestly say I don't think that I think he called a pretty good game
it
Saturday.
it when I okay, I'll say
Like
this.
okay before I let you go for that, right?
Yeah.
We all know how both of us feel about Bobo as an offensive
Yes.
coordinator.
Yes.
I think personally, I think this year play call wise has been better than his previous years. I definitely think so. What I think is
Okay.
lacking, I think execution. Because for one, you have a quarterback that is run happy instead of happy after looking
Mm-hmm.
downfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and it's kind of like even with because I know a lot of people say Stetson, but Stetson wasn't run happy.
Yeah.
Stetson actually looked to pass first, and Stetson had um a lot of experience, and he was older too. But Stetson looked to pass first, and then just took what the defense gave him. Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes, he had a great defense, but and then you had Carson Beck, which was his first year. It was
Mm-hmm.
like pass, 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 or
Right.
whatever. Nobody had film. Second year they had film, and receivers were dropping passes. Although I still think that the offense, the play calling was bad that year. He had a lot of drop passes, and then this year it's like still got drop passes, but then now you have a quarterback who is still trying to develop
Mm-hmm.
his pocket presence because you can develop and play and practice all day long. It is a whole different animal than the game because not from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different when them lights come on and you in practice and
Yeah.
you just with your boys and your coaches and y'all trying to figure it out or whatever. When on Saturday, when that stadium is full and it's 50,000, 60,000 people in there and them lights hit, them TV crews is there, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have linemen that are literally there to kill you. You know, it's different. Like,
Right.
and that pressure is something else too. So I don't think up until this point, like to me, he
Yeah.
hasn't done nothing to make me be like, yeah, get my Bobo out of there. Now, for me, this year, get the defensive coordinator out of there because
Yes.
to
One
me,
thousand percent. One
he's
thousand.
been calling a not so great game and just
Yes.
relying on his talent, his team's talent
Yes.
to get him out of hole. To me, he has
Yes.
not called the best defensive games up until this point.
Right.
That's
Because
my take.
and check this out. I'm glad you said that because I will say this: if game management would have been a thing this past Saturday, not only could we have tied that game up, but we could have went into overtime. Now, granted, a perfect situation or a perfect scenario, you would not want to go into an overtime a second week in a row. But pulling out a W in overtime at home and keeping your home streak alive, that would have been great. But the defense has definitely been a huge issue that needs to be addressed, and I can 100% agree with you on that. Now, on the offensive side, I will say this. Yes, the offense has kind of it has its ups and downs. I will say that it's a lot. Yes, it's kind of a little better from last season. But I'm going to ask you this one question, and please just give me a yes or no, and I'll give you my answer as to why. Do you know who Noah Thomas is?
No,
Thomas is
no.
exactly. He was the starting wideout, yes, he was a starting wideout for Texas A&M last season, and the leading wideout receiver. You know where he is right now?
What?
The University of Georgia, and you haven't even seen him step on the field or even make any type of play. And that's the thing that I'm talking about. If you have people like that who can complement Zach Branch, Kobe Young, the kid who had a drop ball, number 11, the freshman. I'm not even mad at that he dropped that ball because that's a scenario where I know that kid probably his heart was probably pumping out his chest. Now, should he caught the ball? Should he have caught the ball? Absolutely. But it's going to be more.
He didn't lose the game, but he should have
Yes,
caught the ball.
absolutely. But I'm not going to fault him for that because
No,
that's a
you
situation.
have to. No, you
I,
have to call
but
a
the thing
spade,
is,
bro.
he's going to have more opportunities like that. So
But no, he's not.
I understand.
Not
I
in,
understand.
no.
I understand.
Not he's
I
gonna
get
have
it.
more opportunities to catch passes, but he's not gonna have that opportunity to catch it
I
in that
Stack.
type of game and all that. No,
I look at it
no.
this way.
I
Now, granted,
completely disagree
in the
with you on
no no
that
no no
one.
no in the time in that very moment, was I upset? Absolutely, I was yelling at the TV. But now that
Not in the
I've
moment.
had a chance, to really reconcile and really like look things over. I will say this: keep throwing that kid the ball. Keep throwing him the ball. Let him work with Gunner, and let him like actually know where that deep ball is going to be. I guarantee you he catches it next time. Now, granted,
Now
should he
he
have
knew
caught it
where it was
that
gonna.
time? Yes, I agree.
It literally hit him in
I
his
know,
hand over the
but
shoulder. Like
that was the same thing with Ryan Williams.
I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that.
I hear you. I hear you.
No,
But
I can't because as a freshman, what is your okay? What is every freshman's first goal before they even sign with a team? What is the
to
first
start,
question they're gonna ask?
to start.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Which means what? I'm ready. Right,
Yes.
right. So, you get thrown into the game because they most people don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Everybody's looking at this one player to catch it. Right.
Yeah.
I throw you a bomb down the field. You are wide open, over the shoulder pass in the bucket. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to slow down. He didn't have to
Yeah.
do anything crazy. All he had to do was make a catch that receivers work
Yeah.
on day after day after day.
But
No,
hear me
will he
out.
have other opportunities? Will he be a great receiver? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a moment to because that one catch right there could have changed his whole trajectory, right?
Agreed. Just like how
His
Ryan Williams could have changed his whole, but he dropped the two.
no,
But the
no,
thing is,
he
they're
would
going
have
to
changed his
overlook
whole.
that because it's
He
Ryan
would
Williams.
no. We're not gonna overlook it because they've been cooking him because he ain't been able to catch a cold in the winter. But but the difference is he's proven himself
Mm-hmm.
last year, so he's
Yes.
shown what he can do. This freshman has not shown what he can do yet. The first when you think of that freshman, as of right now, the first thing you're gonna think of, he dropped that big pass. Is it fair? No. Should he have caught it? Absolutely. When you get in the game, just like Ryan Williams, he he jumped on the scene as soon as he came in and got his opportunity. What did he do? Take off. Like this year, he's having a bad year, but It's common. Like, I mean, you have a great year. Now everybody is gunning for you. Nobody was checking for him last year like that. Not as the wide receiver one. Everybody knew who he was coming out of high school, but as a wide receiver one, when you've got vets on your team, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, he kind of did stuff that, wow, like, he's 17. Now, everybody knows who you are. We know you're wide receiver one. We know that what you can do in the open field. We know how good you are on your feet.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is the difference between his catch and the freshman's catch, Williams has proven that he can make that catch. He's shown that he can make that catch, but he just made a mistake, dropped the pass, whatever.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Should have caught it. Got to be better. You've shown to be great. Freshman for Georgia, nobody knows who you are. Nobody expected you to be in this game. Why do you think you were so wide open?
Yeah.
It's a reason. So you
Yeah.
catch that, your trajectory changes because now everybody like, yo, you remember this kid that caught the big pass that put us on top and tied the game up? Like,
Mhm.
you catch that pass, now you're in the conversation to be the starter. It's a reason you're not starting because you can't catch a call right now. Like,
Mhm.
they don't trust
Yeah.
you enough to put you in that position. And then when they finally said, you know what, we think he can do this right here. You know, he hasn't shown enough to be a starter yet, but we know he's got hands, he's got speed, he runs good routes. We know nobody's gonna be looking at him right now. We're gonna make this like our secret weapon. They throw you the ball, it's right as they drew it up, over the shoulder, in stride. You are by yourself. That's a touchdown. Unless you catch it falling. But even if you catch it falling, that gives them a chance. And nobody can say nothing but you could have stayed on your feet, but that changes the narrative of that whole drive. No, absolutely, I fought him for that. Absolutely. You
So
have to
so
when you given an opportunity, you have to take it. You have
yes,
to take
agree.
it.
I hear what you're saying, but back to my point. I truly feel that he will get more opportunities like that because again, that's the only way you're going to build his confidence. See, that kid's confidence is shot right now because he should have caught that ball. But again, I look at it this way: keep throwing it to him. I guarantee you. Now, granted, again, yes, he should have caught it on this one because again, you're not going to get an opportunity for that type of pass against Alabama at your stadium. You know what I'm saying? At home. So I hear everything you're saying, but back to my point with Noah Thomas, you got to get a guy like that active. This is now we're going into the third conference game, and we haven't seen this kid at all this season. Like he's non-existent. That's the point that I'm trying to get at with how this offense is being ran because you have. I know I've been very gung ho on how Auburn's the receiving core is, but Georgia's receiving core is just as probably, if equally talented, just maybe a little bit better than Auburn. But we can't see that if you're not getting the guys who they've dug into the portal for and guys that want to come and contribute to this Georgia team, they're not getting the touches. And also, like how we talked about the running back, huh?
No, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, how we talked about the running back that went off this game. Bowens, this kid should have been started. Me personally, Nate Frazier just isn't cutting it right now. And that happens. He's not making the marks.
So,
He's not, he's a smaller back.
so
But with a
you
kid
you
like Bowens,
you
what happened?
essentially saying that you just should bump what you see in practice, get them a shot.
Feed the
Is what
feed
you saying.
feed the hot
But
hand.
then when they
Feed the
get in the
hot
game
hand.
when you give somebody a shot and they mess up, then it's like, oh, why did you do that? Like, because they gave the
But
first
the
man a
thing
shot.
is,
Good.
Fra- Frazier just has not been hitting the strides. It's again, we're going into the fourth, fifth game of the season, fifth, sixth game of the season.
First, for one, your line is completely banged
Yeah,
up.
I
A
agree.
lot of very
I
much
agree.
so. For two, that's the best I've seen your line play all year. If I'm being honest, that's the best
I
I've
would say
seen your
that
line.
I would agree. They both
So
teams bring out
with
the
that
best in
being
each other.
said, if your line is playing great and the backup's gonna shine. If your line is playing
Yes.
great and the starter's gonna shine. Now don't get me wrong, I think Georgia's at its best offensively when you have a 1-2 punch at running back. So I think both of them should have the sonic knuckle thing like the Falcons have going on or whatever. Because I think with Georgia, I mean any team could do it, but I think Georgia thrives best when they have a 1-2 punch at running back. Just like last year, they had Frazier and uh God dog
Frazier and
Etienne.
yeah, Etienne, yeah.
Etienne. Yeah, so they had both of them, so it kind of I mean it wasn't like a big back, small back, but you had two backs that could keep each other fresh, like you know what I'm saying. So when Frazier came in, everybody thought Frazier was better than Etienne, but Etienne definitely saved Georgia in the Texas game both times. So you know what I'm saying. You have those balance because why? Because Frazier came in to make sure Etienne was fresh. So I think that both of them. I don't think the running back, I forget, I can't think of his name. I don't know his name. The backup that started, that had a great game last game. I don't think he's better than Frazier. I just think that they are. I think he benefited from a great line play, and he's strong. So of course he's gonna, bounce off of tacklers. But I think
Yeah.
they would be best. It would behoove them if they use both, and the line steps up because, like I said, your line is very hurt right now. So, and it's much like last year when the line was hurt. So they had to figure out and use ETN in other ways and getting them out, passes out the backfield, doing different things, which they threw some of in the game against Bama, which I commended them on. I only saw a couple bubble screens. So, um,
Right.
but but um, as far as the player that you're talking about that you want to see shine, like I mean, yeah, we all want to see people shine, but it's obvious reasons why those players are
I
not
just
in the
but
game.
I just
Obviously,
and I agree.
because
I 100% because again, I'm not at I'm not at practice at all. I don't see what coach see during the week, but I just really feel like you don't get a guy like that who was leading at Texas A&M and transfers and leads a program. Literally, he would still be at A&M right now. But I mean, you got Casey Concepcion at A&M right now who's balling. But you don't leave a program like that if you don't feel like you can go into a bigger situation and
but you
contribute
do
off rip.
you keep saying points that make me think of stuff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry to cut you off, keep cutting
No,
you off,
you good. Go ahead.
but
You good.
we see this
Let's
time and
run one
time
today.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep seeing this time and time again. Players having great situations and then transferring to see if they have a better chance at another program and then end up being the backup to the backup to the backup, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So on Texas A&M, it's great fit. He's wide receiver one, doing great things. Then you transfer to Georgia, which they've got three good receivers that are ahead of him. So I can't fault them for that. But then you end up being a roster filler. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he'll come in and he'll have a great game or he'll have a big catch or whatever. I'm not knocking that. But think about it. When you go from a program where you're the guy and you go to another program, you might not be the guy. Like you might not you run that risk chasing after the I think this will be better. Like you got 1.5 million here, but you say, you know what, I can get 2.5 million over here. But the difference is you got 2.5 million here, but you're a fourth string. But you got 1.5 million here and you the guy. So everybody sees you. So I think he's a victim of that at this point. I don't know why he's on the bench, but I can tell you that people that the receiver to me, the receiver is not the problem for the offense. You know, I mean, obviously they have to catch the ball, but they've been catching a lot better this year. I think, I think the wrinkles they've done and how they've involved Branch, they've done some amazing things, incorporating him into the offense instead of just making him run routes. I mean, that part is great. What I think it is on offense, like I said, your line is hurt. That's one. Gunner is not giving himself time to throw the ball downfield consistently because he runs he runs before it even can develop for real a lot of the time. When it's I would say when it's like every game, but it affects them more when you're playing against a team that's defensive line and linebackers match the speed of your quarterback and your DBs, are kind of evenly matched with your receiver. Because I personally think Bama and Georgia are kind of like even when it comes to talent, in my opinion, on defense and offense. Only difference is Gunner is probably a little bit more faster than Alabama's quarterback. Uh but the difference is he does not get the ball moving downfield. I don't think you lack for playmakers at all that start. Like your top three receivers, I would take them on any team any day. Because they have height, they have speed, they run routes really good. The only difference is sometimes they drop it. But I don't know a receiver that hasn't. Julio Jones dropped a lot of passes at Alabama. And he was, and we all know how good he was, you know. So I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that I think that incorporated with the line being banged up, because it starts there first. You know. Um, I think play calling's been better, but all of that type of stuff. But I don't want to call on the what ifs. Like, why is this person not getting? I don't want to do that because when they get in the game and then they don't play to our expectations, then we like, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like now we want to bash them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, prime example, Auburn with our quarterback situation we had years ago when TJ Finley was the backup, and we was like, Bo need to be benched. Put TJ Finley in, or he's trash. Oh well, we need a third string in. How many you gonna go through? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being honest. But yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, I think he'll have his opportunities, but I think to me, he just fell into. It seems like he just fell into that trap of going from being the guy then going to a loaded receiver room. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So that's what I
yeah,
think. But I mean, I don't think. I mean, if he plays good, obviously that's another weapon. But I don't think. I think just the players in general just need to have a conversation, players only meeting, just like Bama
yeah.
did, just like Ohio State did last year. You know, like we want championship. We need to play Georgia style football. We need to play this, that, and the third. Like, this is not who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, you drop a pad, you miss an assignment, you run a mile. We going back to remember the Titans. What you mean?
There you go.
Like,
There
you
you
know what
go.
I'm saying? But that's what the mentality has to be when you're not playing like yourself and you have no identity and you're trying to create one. You have to go within yourselves, and I think that's
Agreed.
what Georgia needs, not the
Yeah,
coaches. Players need to have that, you know what I'm saying, that conversation with themselves. A coach need to be a part of that or whatever to build that camaraderie, whatever, cool. But them players need to find it within themselves. Cause it ain't a lack of talent, it's a lack of will. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you will not beat us. No, you're not better than us. Okay, you beat me, I'm coming right back. Okay, you did this that time. Now I'm finna lay you out. Okay, you ran me over. Now I'm finna get you. Like, that's gotta be it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not budging for nothing. That's what they
yeah.
have to do.
They
And I
still
can't stand Georgia. And I'm saying this
right.
is,
And I mean,
you know,
let's be real. They still have to play. Not only do they have Kentucky coming up this weekend, which is always a trap game. I could care less what the record looks like. Um, they still have to play a damn good Ole Miss team and a damn good Texas team. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's the stuff I worry about coming into the latter part of the season, where you still have teams who could still very well punch in the mouth, just like Ole Miss did this weekend against LSU. And so, I mean,
yep,
this past weekend against LSU.
great,
So,
great
yeah.
win for
So, I
them,
mean,
by the way.
absolutely great win. I mean, especially with a backup
Georgia is
quarterback
at
like
risk of not making it to the SEC championship if they continue to play last days of
bump bump the SEC championship. The playoffs, my brother, they are at risk of missing
That's
the
my point.
playoffs.
No, that's my
Yeah,
point. The
they
SEC
are. They
championship has been
yeah, I
Georgia's
know.
bread and butter, and
Yeah,
that's how you get
I
into the playoffs and have,
yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
know it's the
saying?
automatic qualifier thing. Cool. But they listen, man. Again, like we both been saying, there is a bigger issue. There is a crisis going on in Athens, Georgia, that needs to be addressed, needs to be nipped in the bud, and it starts with accountability. What there's one more thing before we move on to it gets to a point the debate for this week. My quarterback took a sack this past weekend. Do you know not one offensive lineman picked him up after he took that sack? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I don't ever in my life want to see that. If my quarterback takes a sack because of your blocking skills, you go and help him up. You go help your brother up. Don't just walk around all lackadaisical, wandering in the clouds. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. This team, man.
When
It's been the
when
same since last season. You go help your brother
when is
up.
the quarterback is the leader.
Yes,
I have not
regardless.
seen I have not seen Gunner get in these folks' face, talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
hey, rally them. I've not seen none of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
When's the last
He's very laid
when's the
back.
last
He's
time
very laid
like
back.
and that's I don't care what you are outside of them white lines. When that goddamn clock start hit 15 and the kickoff hit, when we get in between for Georgia, when you get between them hedges, all that laid back go out the window. On like unless you gonna show up with your play and it's that daggone good and it never is for anybody, you lock in, especially being a quarterback. You the leader of that team.
Yeah.
Everything starts and finishes with you. If you NFL, you can somewhat get away with it, but college, you have no quarterback. You have no chance. Like
Yeah.
unless your defense is like Miami was back in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Getting takeaways and scoring more points than the offense. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't happening. It's not happening like that right now. Like that's not the
Yeah.
game we live in. Quarterbacks push the football down the field through the air and they take off running, right? But you are the leader of this team, and
Yeah.
you have got to. I have not heard nobody say nothing about him. I have heard him say nothing. Like that's the one thing I will die on die on the hill and say. Stetson was quarterback. Stetson taught. Stetson put folk on notice. And Tennessee players called his house when he scored a touchdown. The first celebration he did, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He made them folks rallied around him and he got them up. He had that because he overcame adversity. You know what I'm saying? Beck ran at the first sign of trouble. He transferred. That's the difference. But now, if you notice now, they are rallying around Beck. Why? Because he's more vocal than I've seen him in his 2 years at Georgia as a starter. This is the most vocal I've ever seen him because he fed up. Because everybody talking. You can't be laid back like that. Playing not leading no team. When them lights cut on and you get on it on that gridiron, all that laid back, no. I'm coming at you. I ain't saying you gotta talk jump to the other team and do all that, no, but your guys, you hey man, look, let's lock in right here. What I need to do. What I need to do to help y'all. Okay, line, hey, okay, cool, whatever. Practice. Hey, all right, I'm holding it too long. I realize that. Boom. Like he got the respect because he lower his shoulder, but lower your shoulder, that ain't winning no game. That ain't winning no game. Not against no quality opponent that gonna lower it right back. No.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
This
And
this
then
plus
listen.
your
Then you
action.
take the risk to get hurt. Yeah.
Huh? Right. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I ain't glad I don't care if my quarterback go lay a block for me or run a joker over. No. What is it when the game is on the line? Who the one making the play? Who the one calling jokers out? Who the one holding people accountable? Tim
Mm-hmm.
Tebow run you over. Tim Tebow was right there. You seen the video? Tim Tebow right there in the locker room with them, like, let's go. I know I ain't
Yeah,
as big as y'all, but I ain't stopping. He earned their
yeah,
respect, and that's why they won the championship. Because he earned their respect. You know what I'm saying? With his play and his vocability. And who learned from him? Cam. And what did he do? Won a championship, being that leader, both with action and words. That's what
yeah.
they missing. You can't be laid back, man. Not in college, at
Agreed.
least. Not in
Agreed.
NFL, you might be able to, whatever, but no, no, no.
Yeah. Let's yeah, man. I hear you, man. That was good. That was really good. Let's jump over to it gets to a point real quick. So it leads back into this Georgia Alabama game. If Kirby Smart can't get past Alabama, even when the Tide aren't at their peak right now, like this season, especially taking a loss against Florida State, does that say more about Alabama's floor as a program or Georgia's ceiling under Kirby Smart?
Um, I think it revolves back to both of their ceilings, honestly, because this is a new Bama. This is not Bama of old,
Yeah,
right? So you have to separate the two, which I think people have a problem with. Georgia is gonna be Georgia, regardless, right? But see, now it's not East versus West anymore. So you don't have,
hmm,
like, I'm not saying that they weren't worthy of the SEC championship and the playoffs. I'm not saying that, but let's be real. All you had to do is win the East, and the East has been weak for the last whatever years. Florida hasn't been good. Missouri's been up and down. Um, nobody's Tennessee has been up and down. You know, they haven't been consistent. Nobody has been dominant. But then you move over to the West, you've got a little more, you know what I'm saying, strife. Even though Bama has been there, but you've had LSU that has been good, that's competed. I won't say championship caliber, but has competed strongly. A&M, all of that. So I think Georgia should still be a championship team, but I think this is a new Bama. Yes,
yeah,
Bama doesn't look like they did of old, but they only lost week 1 to a Florida State team that nobody saw coming. Week 1, like I tell you all the time, nobody knows what they got. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this Bama team is trending upward. This Georgia team is kind of staying stagnant.
very,
So I don't
yeah,
think I
yeah,
don't think I don't think they're I don't think Georgia's reached that ceiling yet. Cause I mean, we're not talking about the 2 championships. That was a thing of the past. That's been there, done with. Nobody is
yeah,
there from that team. And nobody. You know, everybody's in the draft now. So nobody from that championship team is besides Gunner, but he didn't play. You
yeah,
know? So nobody's on that team that played. So, you know, and then for Bama, they have a clean slate because they got a new
right,
coach. You know what I'm saying? Saban's not there anymore. You know, you're trending upward. You're getting better every
mhm,
week. So I think it's more so about who's gonna have the higher ceiling. That's what
right.
I think it's about.
I can
I
agree
don't
with
think
that.
it's nobody's floor.
I think I would 100% agree with that because especially I mean literally with the way this season is going, I mean Florida State really hit Alabama like a hurricane. Honestly, like again,
Right.
like you said,
Right.
nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming with them, and it really is almost like night and day, especially with the way the college football season is going. You could win one week and just take the worst of your head coach's tenure the following week. I mean, so it really is kind of like, especially with the way this NIL era is going, it really, like you said, there is no floor, but also the ceiling is dang near inevitable because you just do not know. You just it's really like going into the unknown. You do not know what you're going to get come season by season. So I think I can definitely get behind that. I can get behind that for
And
sure. I
let me
definitely get
ask
behind
you,
that. Yeah.
with the continuing on with that, do you think
Uh-huh.
that with up until this point has
Mm-hmm.
Georgia progressed or have they regressed or have they stayed stagnant? And then on the flip side with Bama, have they proven themselves? Have they progressed, regressed, stayed stagnant, or what you thinking?
I'll start with Georgia as far as progress or regress. Um, I see. I haven't seen drastic regress, but I also haven't seen drastic progress or progress.
So they've been
So I
staying
will say
stagnant
there
in
are.
your opinion.
Yeah, I will say there are spurts of them, game by game, but there's nothing that has really shown me like, yep, that's gonna be the team that goes into December or January. That's still competing. So yeah, I can say it's kind of been very stagnant, very constant, no change in a way. But as far as Bama, I've seen some progress from week one. I've definitely seen progress. Of course, with them, having games with against like Wisconsin helped them really gel and really find some tempo. So when they came into Athens last week, they were really kind of still really tempo in us. Like they played tempo very well. I mean, they had like dang near 36 minutes of time of possession. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that goes a long way when you can hold the ball for that long and continue making progress downfield. It shows that the offense is really starting to click and really move downfield, and and continuing to put points on the board. So I was pleased with the way Alabama has trended upward towards this season. So I hate them, but I mean I got to again, I'm gonna give respect where it's due, and
Yeah, I mean, you
that's
call a
that's what
spade a spade. I mean, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure,
I
for
can't, I
sure.
can't,
Yeah,
I can't stand neither one.
yeah,
So,
right,
I,
right,
I was wishing both of y'all could lose. Like, I'm just being
exactly.
honest. Like,
Yeah, yeah, man.
bumper
I know,
ties.
I
Like, both
know.
of y'all get L. But I gotta call a spade a
Right.
spade. Like,
Yeah,
no,
they're
like Bama,
progressive.
Bama look
I've
completely
been
comfortable.
I've
Huh?
been I've been very impressed with the way they've looked. They've
Right,
changed or
right,
looked differently since week one.
right.
So yeah, they doing their thing.
I have and that
Um,
goes back losing early. And that
yeah,
first game, if you're gonna lose first 2 weeks, cool. Cause no
yeah,
harm, no
yeah,
foul. Like you know what I'm saying. But now, don't get me wrong. You lose two back to back. That's a little different. But if you're gonna
right,
lose one or you're gonna lose two, let it be week one, week two. Cause toward the end of the
yeah,
season, nobody's talking about y'all losing to that. And if they don't, you
right,
say, "Oh, this just is a different team." That's you know what I'm saying. So good thing for Georgia. It's kind of early. I mean, it's middle of the season or whatever, so it's not bad. But with the way I won't even say the SEC, but the way that the top teams as of right now are playing in the SEC, the margin for error is
mm,
is slim. At least to make
yeah,
the conference. But even still, like I mean, you still got Texas. We haven't seen peak yet. We haven't seen them. Even though I think they got their swagger back last week, in my opinion. Um, Texas A&M, we've been seeing them trend in the upward direction. We should, I mean, we gave them a run for their money, but they held on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, Oklahoma, if their quarterback gets back healthy, they're still very much a team that could make some noise. And then you've got Ole Miss, which is always one of those teams that give people trouble. And then, not to
yeah,
mention, you got Vanderbilt, who ain't scared of nobody right now.
right.
So,
I listen.
I mean, the
I
margin for
I
error
I'm
is
glad.
not
It's very low for sure, for sure. But hey, check this out real quick. Let's hop into these week 6 previews, brother. I am over here struggling. I have to run to the restroom real quick. We're gonna we're gonna
okay.
jump into
Let's do
Texas,
it.
Florida. Start off with Texas, Florida, real quick. Just give them a little preview. Hopefully, I jump back in time to hop in with you. I need to run real quick. I'll be right back. All right, 1 second. Texas, Florida. talk to him.
Texas and Florida, man. I think, man, what's happening, y'all? Let's type for a second. Uh, Texas, Florida coming up. I think Florida continues their downward spiral. Can't get nothing going on the offense. Uh, Billy Napier has not done anything to make DJ Lagway comfortable, get his confidence back. Nothing. Good thing for them that the defense is starting to get their swagger back, but I don't think Florida's gonna do much anything offensively, just because and Texas defense is great. So I think this is gonna be a good Texas win, and I think Texas is gonna continue to add to having their swagger back from last week because uh yeah, Florida's not gonna it's gonna have a time because Texas has great DBs, they have great linebackers, great line. Arch he's gonna have his hands full because Florida's defense is starting to come around, but I think this is the game that they put it all together, they figure it out. Florida's still gonna continue the downward spiral because Billy Napier cannot seem to get out his own way. He's calling the same plays. It's a very simple offense, but he's not getting DJ Lagway comfortable. He's not running the plays that make him comfortable. So I definitely think Florida is going to lose this one. I don't want to say big, but I definitely think that they lose this one. Only reason I don't say big is because Florida's defense has been showing up, but yeah, I definitely think Florida's gonna lose this game and Texas is gonna prevail. I think last week they got their swagger back, and I think this week they're just gonna continue to build on that. Because Florida just is not gonna be it. I think this is Billy Napier's last year. I think if he loses this game, which I think he will, I think he's out of there. Um, and honestly, it could change everything if he just relinquishes the offensive play caller because he has shown nothing. Like, I mean, last year, play calling was terrible. Year before that, play calling was terrible. Like, I mean, at what point do you see that you're being in the way of your own team? You've got a 5-star in DJ Lagway who is a beast, and you have done nothing at all on Saturdays. I don't know what you're doing in practice, but on Saturdays, you're not doing nothing at all to give him his confidence back and to make him comfortable. Nothing at all. So, yeah, Texas wins this one.
I I definitely think Texas goes down to Gainesville and takes to win. And granted, Texas hasn't looked as strong this year, but again, I definitely think Texas is a lot more talented than Florida this year. And I mean, it's just been going down here. I think the best case scenario for everybody right now is for us to get to the end of the season. Billy Napier loses his job. I hate to put it that way, but Billy Napier loses his job, and we start to search for a new head coach that's going to be the best fit for Florida. And also that came out today, Ed Orgeron is ready to come back. So who's to say that Ed Orgeron couldn't end up in Gainesville, Florida? We can see. I mean, so
No,
yeah. Thank you
no,
for holding it down. I heard you.
no.
I heard you in here. Uh, no Ed Orgeron
I
or
mean,
no
hey,
just like
I do what I can. I do what I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You did your thing. You did your thing. All right, let's let's hop over to Miami, Florida State, man. We don't want to keep these people too long for tonight. So yeah, Miami, Florida State, man. A game that we were talking about early on in the episode, man. A game that could definitely be. I mean, realistically, could Florida? I mean, we know Florida State has a bad taste in their mouth, especially losing to Virginia. But could this be a game where Miami gets shocked on the road?
I don't think they do because I think that um their defense is great and Beck is great and Beck has seen his fair share of
Yeah.
great defenses and he's battle tested and he's got all the weapons at his disposal. I think it comes just down to execution. Honestly, I think this one comes down to really. I personally think who can hold it down offensively consistently. Like, I mean, not just running the ball. I'm talking about pushing the ball downfield, and I think Miami is better at that and will be better at that than Florida State. Now, don't get me wrong. Florida State, their quarterback, he can run, he's shifty, do all of that, but just that alone only gets you so far. Just like we saw
Yeah,
last week when they lost to Virginia. Like, I mean, when they were trying to push the ball downfield, he threw a bomb that exploded midair. So, I mean, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
I got
mean,
you.
and
Yeah, no,
Miami's
that's
defense
fair.
is 10 times better than Virginia's. So,
Way better than last season. Yeah, way better. And I mean, again, like I said, two new quarterbacks, like two new looks for two really good programs. I mean, Florida State just take again the Virginia lost last week, totally unacceptable. But at the same time, the play up to this point has been very impressive from what it was last season. So, I like watching fun games. So I think it'll be a fun game. I do think Miami pulls it out, but I just really think Florida State has a bad taste in their mouth. So they're looking to really cause some havoc when going back home to Doak Campbell. So yes, sir. All right, last game for week 6 preview: Alabama and Vanderbilt. Trap
mm.
game.
uh, well, I don't think it's a trap game because this is the first time where you see Vandy is ranked. I think last year was a trap game because nobody expected Vandy to even be a
Yeah,
threat, right? I think what I'm saying. I think
yeah. I mean, yeah,
Vandy
yeah.
has everybody's respect right now, so I think Bama's gonna be prepared. I don't bet against Pavia, I don't, but the way that
Oh, you
Bama
know
has
not to bet
been
against Pavia.
playing, I don't bet against Pavia, and the way that Bama's been playing, I'm more inclined to go that way. Um,
Mm.
but with that being said, I'm going with Vandy with the I wouldn't even call it an upset because
Ooh, I don't know,
I
bro.
wouldn't call
If
it an
you beat
upset just
Alabama two
because.
years in a row,
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm saying, like, for me this is first time. It's like I feel like it go either way just because. Oh, Bama is hot right now, and they are coming off of Georgia, and they expect Vanderbilt to be good and give them their all, and they have a bad taste in their mouth from last year. So all the cards are set up for Bama to go out here and make this a statement game. But also on the other side, a lot of people saying that Vandy is just having a run and it's going to end soon, so they have something to prove. Pavia's tone with his quote, how they play Bama is a lot different from what it was before. Because Bama is expecting them to come give them their all. So, um, but but I love a good story. I love a good, comeback. I love a good underdog. So I'm going Vandy. I'm going
all
Vandy,
right. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All
and
right.
because I hate
Okay.
Bama.
Hey, well,
So
I know you do. I know you do. Well, I'll give my thoughts when we're about to go ahead and get close to these game picks for week 6. But other notable games to watch for week 6: Texas A&M versus Mississippi State. Mississippi State took a horrible loss towards Tennessee this past weekend. Man, they went into overtime, and man, Mississippi State could not pull it out. Unfortunately, A&M of course played Auburn last week. Um, yeah,
all right, we
I'm
we
sorry.
skip past that.
Texas Tech versus Houston. Both undefeated teams still going at it. I think that'll be a heavyweight bout come Saturday, and as well as Louisville and Virginia. Virginia, of course, beating um, Florida State, and Louisville is undefeated as well. So a few notable matchups to look out for this weekend and check out. And yeah, let's hop into these game picks, my brother. Sponsored by who? Sponsored by who? Stackz? Tell them. Nobody, because we don't have
What that?
sponsorship yet. All right, that's fine.
I was
That's
about to
fine.
say. I was sure
It's
about
good.
to say Twisted Tea. Brought to you by Twisted Tea.
Do not, brother. If you plug Twisted Tea on this podcast and they take us off this platform,
Hey
I
man,
know
I'm
so.
speaking into existence. Hey,
Well,
say quench your
I
thirst.
hear
Drink
you,
the
but
Twisted Tea.
they not finna take our platform. But anyway, man, let's hop into
No,
these
they
games
they
real
they
fast.
won't work with us.
We gonna hopefully. I'll definitely be drinking them on here too. Be slurring words and everything. All right, Texas and Florida, 3:30 on ESPN on Saturday. Who you got?
Texas.
All right, we'll skip past. I about to say we'll skip past that one since you over there yawning. I know who you got.
I said Texas.
I'm gonna take Texas. Yeah, I know. I heard you. I'm gonna take Texas as well. Yeah, just Florida. Just I think that decline is still going on for them. 3:30 ESPN 2, 24 Virginia Louisville. Who you got?
I got Virginia.
Um,
Got Virginia.
I think Virginia is still riding the high hand. I'll go with good old Virginia right now. 3:30 p.m. on NBC, Boise, Notre Dame, 21 Notre Dame. Who you got?
Oh, Notre Dame.
Yeah, taking Notre Dame. I think the tandem of Love and I can't think of his counterpart right now, but yeah, they're two really great backs in the country right now. I think they handle business going into Saturday. 3:30 on Big Ten Network, Washington, Maryland. Who you got?
I got Washington. I got Washington.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Washington. Another great running back to look out for Washington. Literally one of the top in the country right now. So yeah, I'm gonna take Washington. I think I would expect a big game coming from him as well. 4 p.m. on Fox Sports 1, Michigan State and Nebraska. Who you got?
I got Nebraska. I got Nebraska. I got Nebraska.
I haven't got a chance to really watch much of Nebraska this year, so I really haven't had a chance to watch neither one. But stronger team, Nebraska. I'll probably go Nebraska. 7 p.m. ESPN, number 11, Texas Tech, guns up, baby. And Houston, who you got?
I got Texas Tech. They riding high right now. Their offense is explosive. So.
Yeah, yeah, Texas Tech is really looking really good, from a few seasons ago. So I'm gonna go with my good friend Joe Menares, and I'm gonna take Texas Tech and go that way. 7:30 NBC, Minnesota, number 1 Ohio State. Who you got?
I got Ohio State.
I don't even think that's a thought. I'm gonna just go on to the next one. 7:30 SEC Network, Mississippi State and number 6 Texas A&M. Who you got?
I got A&M.
Just with the way Mississippi State played last week against Tennessee, man, I think this Mississippi State team is really, 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 really coming strong. I think I'm gonna take Mississippi State with the upset. Yeah, I'm gonna take Mississippi State with the upset on this one. 7:30 ABC, number 3 Miami, number 18 Florida State. Who you got?
Miami.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Miami on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna ride Miami. 3:30 ABC, number 16 Vandy, number 10 Alabama. Who you got?
Vanderbilt with the upset. For sure.
Bring out the stamp. I'm stamping it. Vandy with the upset. Let's do it. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for you today. Thank you for hanging out with us for another great episode of the Touchhouse Podcast. Javaris Harris, Stackz Delbridge, my brother, Stackz. Take us home, my guy.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in with us, man, tapping in with us. Hey, tell your friend, tell their cousin, tell their auntie and them that College Couch Podcast is where it at. If you got somebody that is playing college sports, playing college football, whatever, let us know. We want to give them some shine, give them the flowers that they do, and let folks know where they at, where to find them. But till then, we got bills to pay. Wake up, I gotta go get it.